Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, first off, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Wasn't expecting that, especially in the way it happened, because it was from a short, like a YouTube short that I did that was about a interesting dating experience that I had. So I wasn't expecting that to blow up, nor to receive 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, thank you. Woohoo! Today I wanted to make a quick video for you guys. Mainly, I've been wanting to make this video, but really just haven't had time. But this is like my 4-day weekend. So I was like, now it's time. So this video is a pros and cons to living in a studio. I recently moved and it's my first apartment like by myself. I've always had roommates of some sort, and this is my first apartment with just me, and it's also a studio. Now, prior to moving into here, I was like hesitant because I was like, studio? And I didn't know anyone that's lived in a studio, so I didn't really have anyone to like ask and be like, hey, like what did you think of it? And also I think it is kind of one of those things where you have to experience it for yourself, right? So when I was deciding on moving into a studio, I went on this rampage. I was Googling, I was on Reddit. I was like, please, someone tell me like, what do you think about a studio? What's your experience? And it was so split, the opinions. It was like, oh my God, I loved it, blah, 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 nothing wrong with it. And then you have the other side that was like, we'll never do it again. And I was like, whoa. And they both have valid points. So because they both have valid points, I was like, okay, so which one is it? And then I was like, you know what, just go for it. Just do it. And then you have that experience for yourself. You can draw your own conclusion. So that's kind of what I did. So I've been in my studio for almost a year now, which means I've lived through the pros and cons, and I can kind of give you some insight as to what they're looking like. And I didn't write a list or anything. I didn't write anything down. I was just like, we're gonna go straight into it. That way it's kind of genuine. It's like, this is really what I experienced versus I sat there and tried to find things, you know? So let's start with the pros. The pros of living in a studio, one was it was very easy to furnish, of course. It's such a small space that I mean, you only need so much for it, and you don't need large items because the space is so small. So furnishing it took me no time, and it was very inexpensive, and I didn't go really expensive with the furniture choices I made because I didn't know how long I would be living here, and I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of things that I would end up selling or giving away when I move. So I kind of stayed like in a very tight budget when I bought a lot of this stuff, but it worked out. I mean, I love everything I have. And then on top of that, in the event that I do decide to like upgrade or change things, I won't feel as bad getting rid of this stuff. Yes, the pro was furnishing. Very, very easy to furnish. I don't know the number, but it was easy. The second pro I would say is the maintenance of a studio. So obviously when you have a bigger space, it's a lot more to clean and maintain. It is so easy to clean. Like if I need a cleaning day, I mean, depending on how deep of a clean I do, but like if I'm just having an average cleaning day, it really is very simple and very easy. Like it's only a little bit of counter space, a little bit of bathroom space, a little bit of just bedroom space, and then you're done. Now the flip side to that, so one of the cons is that it's so easy to get dirty or make at least look dirty or messy because everything's out in the open. So if I leave clothes anywhere or if I leave a plate out, it just looks way worse than it would, I feel like, in a 1-bedroom apartment. Here, any little thing that's sitting out just throws a whole like vibe off, and you're just like, dang, okay, let me clean up. Like it feels a lot messier when it's not. So that's something that I do kind of run into, especially during the work week when I'm really, really busy and I have a tendency to throw my clothes on that, you know, that one chair everybody has in their house that's like a laundry chair. Yeah, I have one in my studio, and I have a tendency to throw everything on that thing, everything. So that would be the one con I could say that I run into here. Another thing I remember reading before moving into a studio was like, oh, when you cook food, it makes the whole house smell like food, like 'cause you're in a studio, so then you can't really escape the smell. maybe I don't have the strongest nose, but I haven't had an issue with that. And I cook some very strong smelling things sometimes. And like, I have not run into an issue where I'm like, oh, my house smells like spaghetti. Like, oh, my house smells like curry. Like, even if it does, like, it's not like overpowering to the point where I don't want to be in my home or anything. But I mean, I feel like that's kind of a case by case situation. Like for me, it might not be a problem. For someone else, it might be like, oh my God, I can't stand it. But the pro to the smell of your home is it's easy to get that nice scented smell. You only have one open room. So I have an air freshener or like a plug-in. I have one right here next to my couch, and then I have one over by the door, and you smell it in my whole house. Beautiful, love, cheap. Especially because like refills are not cheap. So being able to just have two and my entire house smells is perfect. And I have one in the bathroom. So that is another pro, is that it's very easy to keep it smelling fresh. Let's see. Another pro would be the cost of living, of course, because I mean, I feel like that was almost number one, but the cost of living is obviously cheaper than a one bedroom. And it's like, when it's just yourself, even a partner, like even if you just like you and a partner, but like me by myself, this is all I need, you know? So like a one bedroom would have been a little bit unnecessary for me. And so I love the fact that it's small enough for just me. I feel comfortable in it because, you know, living alone is not scary, but it's just like you're alone. So it's nice to just be able to see all of my space in one glance versus like being in my room and who knows what's going on in my living room, you know? So it's a lot or a little bit less expensive than a one bedroom. And then also like having the air conditioning and all that stuff is easier too, to like keep it cool or keep it hot. So that's also nice because I mean, I don't have to run the air as long and I don't have to run the heat as long to actually heat up or cool down the place. So that's something I really do enjoy because my bill is not high when it comes to electric. And that's very nice. And yeah, so that's another pro. I really don't have that many cons at all, actually. Like I would have to really kind of search for some cons, like besides the fact that it looks messy quick, or just, yeah, that's really like the only con. I will say that like, I know one of the biggest misconceptions with studios is like, oh, you're in these four walls and like you just feel like you're trapped. In my opinion, no, I do not feel trapped whatsoever. And I also don't get tired of my four walls. Now, something that may have helped is I added a divider, which I'll give you a little tour of the studio when I'm done, but I have a divider in my home, and I think the divider does help to make it feel like two separate spaces. Like when I'm in my little living room area, it doesn't feel like I have a studio. I have to actually look back and go, oh, I have a bed back there. Like half the time I don't even sleep in my bed, but like it doesn't really feel like a studio when I'm just sitting here. Only when I first walk into the door and I can see that everything's open. That's usually the only thing. So I think that's a common misconception, is feeling trapped. I think how small the studio matters, but my studio is decent size, so to me it does not feel like super crammed or anything. And another thing I was kind of worried about, and this is more like a little bit more vain, I guess, or shallow, I don't know. But I was like worried about having guests over. I was like, how is it gonna be having guests? And I just have this one little like open space. Like, how does that work? Blah, blah, blah. And that, I don't know why. I just was really like nervous about that part. But I've had friends over a few times and it's truly no issue. Like I have good seating because I have my little table that has two chairs on it. I have my couch, and then I have my other chair that's sitting in the over there. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, you know, I had a little girls' night. It was like 3 of us and it didn't feel too crowded. It felt intimate and nice, and I have no complaints about it. So ultimately, like, I would say if you're thinking about it, highly recommend. If it's your first place you're moving to, like, definitely recommend. Of course, it depends on where you live. I feel like studios are more common in like city-like areas versus like non-city areas. Like I'm in a downtown, so studios are very common. But if studio is an option for you and it's just you, try it, you know? And then if you don't like it, then just, you know, switch it up the next year. But personally, I love it, and I would highly recommend it, like 10 out of 10 recommend. So I want to give you guys a quick tour of the place. It's not 100% done because I kind of just like, I did all the main things I needed and then I just let it go. But it's almost there. So let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna start from the front entrance of the home. This is the front entrance when you come in. So this has a nice big open space that I do wanna add a entry table to, but I just haven't yet. So when you enter, I have like a mirror here, and then it goes straight into my place. Off to the right is a bathroom. So this is my bathroom. It's a decent size. It doesn't feel too crowded. And this is where my washer and dryer is. Personally, I put these I put these curtains up because I was like, I do not like looking at that. So when I'm facing my mirror, it's not as bad, you know, because it was kind of an eyesore. And then when you come in here, this is where my bed is. Yes, that is Sino on my bed. Do not judge my little stuffed animal. And then I have this chair. I honestly had this chair in my, like when I lived back at home, and I wanted to get rid of it, but I just kind of kept it. So it's here. And then that's where my closet is. And then I have a vision board and my calendar up there. And then when I turn back around, this is where the kitchen area is. So it's decent counter space for it to be a studio. So I'm very happy about that. Same with cabinets, lots of cabinets, like cabinets up here as well. Right before the kitchen is a coat closet, which is where I keep like some of my bags and my coats, some shoes down there. And then my closet, we're not gonna open that because she's not that cute, but this is the divider. I feel like this was probably my best purchase, was this divider, because again, when I'm in the living room, it just doesn't feel like I'm in a studio, but this is my living room. So it's about time for fall, so I'm gonna start decorating for some fall items and everything, but this is what it looks like. All my little plants, love them all. I just got this plant here, and I do plan on getting like a plant stand so it sits higher, but I literally just got it. And then this is my other little plant that's dying. Poor baby. His name is Larry, and I feel so sorry for him. But yeah, that is like my overall place, and I love it. I'm comfortable with it, and I highly recommend, if you're looking to do a studio, to do one. So that wraps up this video. I wanted to show you guys my little place and talk about the pros and cons of living in a studio. If you have any questions, or if you've lived in a studio and you have some pros and cons you want to comment below, do that. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like my video, share, all that good jazz, and I'll see you guys next time. If you guys know of any good video ideas, let me know. My videos are gonna kind of be random. I thought I was gonna have like a niche starting this channel, but that's not happening. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Okay, bye.